Okay guys, so let's just jump right into it. Today I'm just going to show you guys how I do my makeup for work on a day-to-day basis. I like to keep my look very clean, natural, quick and easy, professional. I don't like to do too much when I go to work. I just don't find it appropriate for a work environment unless you work at like a makeup store. This makeup can be used in different variations of professions. You can do this for a doctor job, you can do this for a nurse job, you can do this for an office job. This is basically office appropriate because I work retail and our dress code is business casual. So this is kind of the makeup that I do every day. Ties in with every outfit I could wear, and I just think it's really classy, really natural looking, and just very simple and easy to do. So yeah, let's just get into it. Take a sip of my coffee. So first things first, I'm going to prime my face. I've already cleansed and moisturized. I just got out the shower. I cleaned my face with the Neutrogena Acne Wash. Is that what it's called? Yeah, the Neutrogena Acne Wash, and I moisturize with the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Water Gel. So my face is prepped and ready for makeup. If you guys want to see a skincare routine, I did post one a while back, and I will have it linked down in the description if you're interested in watching that at all. You always want to make sure your face is prepped before makeup because it just makes your makeup look a lot better and last a lot longer. So I'm already moisturized, clean, good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and prime. And today to prime, I am using the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Complexion Primer. This is just a little sample size that I got from Sephora. I have been using it nonstop since I got the sample. It is bomb. I'm probably going to go ahead and buy a full size because I just love what it does for my skin. It just works really well for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply that. I like to focus this mostly in my T-zone because that's where I get the most oily. I would say that the consistency of this primer is kind of slippery. It's a little silicone-y, but that's how I kind of like my primers because it kind of just makes everything go on real smooth. So yeah, I just use that and just apply it mostly in my T-zone, and then I just kind of blend the rest outwards. Okay, so I prime my face. Now, I like to do eyebrows. Usually I'll do my eyebrows first and then prime my face. I like to do my eyebrows first and then prime my face because sometimes when you have a silicone type primer like this one is, it can make your eyebrow product just slide around, and that is not the business for me. I hate it. It's like a big pet peeve of mine. Now I'm just gonna fill my eyebrows in like normal. I just go with the shape of my brow, and I don't like to you okay? And I don't like to do anything too harsh or crazy because I'm going to work, so I don't want my eyebrows to be looking crazy. So I'm just gonna, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna fill my eyebrows in like so, following the natural shape of them. Well, not the natural shape, the shape that they're in right now, because this is not my natural brow. This brow was achieved with many waxings. You might hear like little sounds and stuff, and it's because Valentina is just sitting right there. Sorry I keep putting this mirror right in front of my face, but I'm like really trying to get all up in my eyebrows, and it's kind of hard to do that and stay with my face showing. Okay, so I think I'm about done with my eyebrows. They look all right. Definitely not perfect, but they're good enough. Another sip. So good. Okay, so the next step is foundation, at least for me. This is the order that I go in. So I'm just going to be using the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow, and this one is in the shade 204 Natural Buff. It still works for me, even though I did get a little bit of a tan, but it's starting to fade, so it's still like working with my skin tone. So I just like to take my finger and just kind of dab it all over my face. I really like this foundation. It's really light, and it just kind of is very natural looking. If you don't use a lot, which I don't like to use a lot of foundation because it just kind of makes my skin, it takes away from my skin. I don't know, I feel like putting too much product on your skin takes away from your skin, and it kind of can make you look worse rather than better. So I like to use the least amount of foundation that I can on my face when I can, unless I'm going to like an event and I'm taking pictures. I like to cake, but so I'm just gonna blend this out with my Real Technique sponge. Hi, baby. Because I kind of really like the Real Technique sponge. It's the closest thing to a beauty blender in my opinion. The only downside about them is that they do kind of fall apart quick. Something that's that great about them, but they are really, really cheap, so it kind of isn't really that much of a big deal because they're so easy to replace. They're at any drugstore, so you don't have to travel all the way out to your nearest Sephora to get a new one. They're just at any drugstore, Target, Walgreens, I think CVS. They're really accessible, so I really do appreciate Real Techniques for making a lower end, more affordable product that's just as good, if not better, than a beauty blender, which is $20. And you know, some people just can't afford that, whether they be moms, you know, on a budget, and just some people just can't afford a $20 beauty tool. So I can really respect Real Techniques for making accessible and really good beauty tools. So I'm about done. I just gotta, you know, fill in those white parts above my eyebrows. I just gotta fill in those white parts above my brows, and I just kind of like to take the tip of the Real Technique sponge, the pointy end, and just dab it in a bit of foundation, and then just go over, I don't know if you guys could even see what I was doing, just go over the top of my eyebrow just to make sure that there's no area that doesn't have foundation, because it'll look a little lighter than my whole face with foundation. And the reason my foundation is a little darker than my face is because my face is naturally lighter than the rest of my body, given the fact that I exfoliate almost daily. So even if I do get a tan on my face, it goes away almost instantly because I have to exfoliate my skin. So it kind of just takes off the whole dead skin cells and the pigment. So there's that kind of scientific fact of the day. Barely. I just started putting that powder on and I forgot to do my concealer, so I'm gonna just go ahead and do my concealer really quick. Thank God I didn't put powder anywhere I put concealer. So I'm using the Maybelline Age Rewind concealer in this shade Neutralizer. It's like a yellow toned shade, which works for me because yellow is my undertone. So this really works for me as far as looking good on my skin. So I'm gonna use this one. I like barely have any left, but this stuff is so bomb. It's not too thick and it's not too thin where it doesn't cover anything, but I really, really like this stuff. I've been using it for forever, and I just like to put some on my forehead in the middle, underneath my eyes, over the top of my eyelids for primer, down the center of my nose, on my chin, and sometimes I'll even do a little in the Cupid's bow, just to kind of bring light to my face so everything is not all so one color. There's something so satisfying about blending out concealer. I don't know what it is. It just, once it's blended out, it just looks so amazing. Like your face just looks so light and pretty. Okay, so now that I've blended out my concealer, I'm looking a little crazy. So now I can finish powdering my face how I started. And with this powder, I just kind of like to go in all the areas that I did not put concealer, because I set concealer with a different powder, and you'll see what powder that is in a sec. Valentina's getting a little cranky, so I'm gonna try and go as fast as I can because she's getting a little cranky sitting in there. As you can hear her, she's kind of crying now. She's getting a little irritated. Alright, so now to set my under eyes and whatnot, I'm going to use the Coty Airspun Original Loose Face Powder. I'm going to use this in the shade Naturally Neutral. And I'm just going to go ahead and not really bake, but I just like to put a good amount of that under my eyeballs. And typically I will not go in the order of setting my face first. I usually set my under eye first and like my concealer spots first and then my face. But I think filming just kind of threw me off of my natural routine. Alright, so now that that is set, I like to just take that brush that I used to set my face just to like sweep off any powder that I've put like way too much on or something. I just like sweep that away with this brush just a little bit. And now we actually have our base down. Valentina is getting real agitated. So I'm just holding her and I'm gonna do my best to finish this makeup. Okay, so now that we have our full base down, I'm going to go ahead and start bringing more color back to my face. So I'm just going to go ahead and contour first. I like to contour first because it just sets the groove of everything else and sets where everything else needs to be in place. Do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna go ahead and contour. I'm using the Kevyn Aucoin Sculpt Book Volume 2. Contour Book Volume 2. And boy, this costed a pretty penny, but I really like it. It's actually a really good quality palette. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the sculpting powder there. It comes with creams and powders, but I typically kind of don't really use creams that often. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go in with the contour powder. And I'm gonna contour. And this brush I'm using is just a Jessup brush. Is that what it's called? Yeah, it's a Jessup brush, and it's I think the blush brush. This set was so cheap, I've had it forever, and it still is in good condition. So if you're looking for a pretty cheap brush set, I would go with Jessup if they still do sell them. I don't even know. I am kind of just like using the camera as my mirror right now because I'm holding Valentina so she stays calm. So, you know, I kind of look, you know, weird, but it's okay. So I typically will contour my nose, but I don't know. I'm just gonna use this fluffy crease brush to contour my nose a little bit. Nothing too extreme or anything, just a little bit. Okay, so I'm finished with contour. As you can tell, very, very light, nothing too deep, nothing too intense. I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. blush palette. This one is really old, but it's so good, and I recommend it if you're looking for something fairly cheap for really good quality. I'm gonna go ahead and use these two shades on the bottom, just kind of mix them together with my brush. This is the Real Techniques blush brush, and I'm just gonna go ahead and sweep that right over the apples and also like towards the back because I have a more rounded face, so you don't want to put blush directly on your cheeks if you have a rounded face. It's just gonna make your face look even more round. So I like to just take it towards the back, kind of like a contour, but right over top of where a regular contour would go. I don't know, it's something that I kind of picked up on off the internet, and it just kind of looks better that way in my opinion. And yeah, these blush colors are very, very muted out, very natural looking. You don't want to wear like a bright pink blush or anything. I mean, if you want to, that's cool, you can do you, but for me personally, that's not my cup of tea, especially not for work in a professional kind of environment. It's not my thing. So I know you're probably waiting for highlight, but we'll get to that in a sec. I'm gonna go ahead and go backwards a little bit, and I'm gonna go ahead and set my brows, and I'm gonna use the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Plumper, I think that's what it's called, in the shade either dark brown or brown. And I'm gonna go ahead and set my brows. And this stuff can go from 0 to 100 real quick, so you don't want to use like too much. And like when you take the brush out from the actual product, just like be careful, like kind of wipe your brush off a little bit, because this stuff picks up a lot of the brow gel, and I don't know, it can get real messy real quick on your brows. So now my brows and my base, my face is done. I can go ahead and move on to my eyes. For my eyes, I do a very, very, very simple, very natural eye look. I just go ahead and I'll take either this brow or this blush product that I used, or I'll take the color that I used to contour with and I'll put it on this blending brush. This is the LAB blending brush, and then I will just pop that color right into my crease lightly, just to give my eye some dimension, so it's not so flat and white. Well, not white, but like, you know, just a flat eye. I'll just blush that right into my crease. That simple, nothing to it. If I'm really going all out, I will do like a shimmery lid, but I don't really have the time to do that today because I do intend on filming another video after this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just slap that right into my crease. That simple. That's usually what I do on a daily basis. And as you can see, it just gave my eye a little bit something there, but nothing crazy, you know, just keeping it real simple, real casual. So now I'm gonna go ahead and line my waterline, and I'm just using this Jordana Easy Liner for eyes in this shade Brown Suede. And I'm just gonna go ahead and line my waterline. When you do put eyeliner in your waterline, it can close your eyes off a little bit and make them appear smaller. So if you don't want to do that, if you want to avoid that altogether, then I would skip this step. But I kind of like how it makes my eyes look, so I like to do it. Put Valentina back in there, so hopefully she can stay quiet and just relax while I finish up this video. So I've already lined my waterlines, and I like to go with brown just because it's a little less harsh than black. And I kind of like how it just looks better with brown. So now that our whole face is done, eyes are done for now, I'm going to go ahead and set down my entire face, give it a nice spritz with this MAC Fix Plus. I thought like my whole life that I would never ever touch MAC. I hated MAC. I didn't care for MAC at all. But you know what? This right here, this is what dreams are made of. Dead ass. This is what dreams are made of. It is so good. I love how it makes my makeup look. I love what it does for my highlight, for my shimmer shades. It's bomb. Okay, she's back because she was getting an attitude. But as I was saying, it's bomb. I love what it does for my makeup. I love what it does for my shimmer shades, my highlight. It's just a really, really good like setting spray. It's not really a setting spray. I mean, technically it's not a setting spray. It's to kind of make your makeup look less cakey. But it does work. It does do that. So I really like this. I'm just gonna go ahead and spray this all over my face. I do add a generous amount of that. Okay, so now that my face is still wet with Fix Plus, then I go ahead and go into my highlight, and I'm just gonna use the Candlelight powder from this Kevyn Sculpt book, contour book, whatever, on this little e.l.f. fan brush, and I'm just gonna add that right above my blush, all on my cheekbones, and also a little towards the back. Not going too crazy with highlight, even though this is what I kind of like to do the most of, because it's really nice to, you know, shine bright like a diamond when everything else is pretty, you know, standard. I think it's just a pretty look when you're really highlighted but everything else is very natural and simple. I think it's a really beautiful look. So that's what I like to do. I just like to kind of go a little ham with the highlight. And this candlelight powder is so gorgeous because it's such a natural, kind of glow, but at the same time it's still very pretty, and it does make you shine bright like a diamond. So I really do like the candlelight powder. Now that I've done my highlight on my face, I actually will just go in with my pinky and just kind of dab it right underneath my brow, because I don't really like to do a brush because then it just comes out way too harsh. So I just take my pinky, dab in some highlight, and dab right on my brow, and that's what works for me. So next I am going to do some mascara, of course, because I look really weird without it. I'm going to use this Covergirl Plumpify mascara because it's the only one I could find at the moment. And this one is really interesting. It has a really freaking big brush tip, which I'm still not sure why that is. I like it. You do want to be careful when you're putting it on, especially if you have short little eyelashes like me, because it can get all over you basically. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this. I'll probably speed through it. Yeah. Alright, so I finished my lashes. Alright, so I finished my lashes. And I did end up getting like some on my on my eye and on the bottom, but I will go ahead and clean that up. Obviously, I'm not gonna leave that there. So I will go ahead and clean that up. And this is the finished look, basically. If you want to, you don't really have to, but if you want to, you can go ahead and add a lip color. I typically will go for a pink or a nude, but sometimes I like to spice it up and I'll do like a bold lip or something. I usually will go outside the box with lips because, I mean, that's really the thing that you can change up and it'll still be professional regardless. But today I'm probably gonna do a deeper lip color because I'm wearing a maroon shirt today, so I just kind of want to go with the entire, you know, I just want to kind of make it monochrome or whatever, I guess. Plus it's kind of a shitty day out, so I figured I would just do a deeper lip color and it'll work. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm actually feeding Valentina right now, so yeah. So I'm gonna finish up feeding her. I'm gonna go ahead and do something with my hair, and then I'll come back, add my lip color, and we'll finish off the video. So I will see you guys in just a few minutes. All right, y'all, so I'm back. I kind of did something with my hair. My hair has just not been the business lately, so we'll just kind of go with it and just pretend that it looks better than it actually does, okay? Now I'm just gonna go ahead and apply my lip color, and today I'm using Anastasia's Tango lip gloss. This was from the summer collection set thing, and you know what, I really like this color. I really like the lip glosses. They're mad good and they last so long for being lip glosses. So I don't know, Anastasia, you bomb, girl. Okay, and that is it. This is my business casual work environment appropriate makeup look. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget to give me a huge thumbs up and also hit that subscribe button that's down below. I also have a button popping up on the screen somewhere here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.